Hello everybody, Don't Blink here again with another Battlefield 3 gameplay commentary for you guys, and today we have questions and answers round 2. I once again went on Twitter, asked for questions that people wanted me to answer in a video, was met with a slew of them almost immediately, and I'm going to answer them in this video. Hopefully you guys enjoy. I'm using the support class on Sharkey Peninsula, using the bipod quite extensively in this round, take out a few chopper pilots, and overall it was a pretty good round. So yeah, hopefully you'll enjoy the footage and the commentary, and let's get down to it. First up, we have a question from Josh ZYYY. He asks, "Do you love me?" And my answer would have to be probably not, but I most definitely like you. As long as you are generally friendly towards me, I will like you by default. I like people by default, and I let them prove me wrong. So just don't prove me wrong and prove yourself to be a douchebag. And I will like you, no questions asked. That's just how it works with me. Question number 2 comes from Jesper9610. He asks, "What mic are you using?" I get asked this a lot, especially lately, now that I did that video talking about my tips for getting started on YouTube. For those of you who are unaware, all of my system specifications, everything related to how I make my videos, the system that I make my videos on, my computer, just everything, is listed on my channel page. I even moved it recently to a more visible spot. So if you'd like to see what I use when I play games, when I make videos, so on and so forth, it's all listed there. It's in the upper right hand corner. You can just click to expand it, and it will all be made known to you. But in terms of the microphone, I use a super generic Logitech USB desktop microphone. It has no model number listed on the microphone itself. But I will, to make things easier for those of you who are looking to pick up the same mic, it's very affordable, it's less than 20 bucks. I will leave a link in the description. You can go ahead and click on that, and if you're interested, you can pick up the mic. It's very cheap, and I think it's pretty decent quality. I mean, it's very sensitive, and it will pick up just about any noise that's made in the same room as you, even in rooms adjacent to yours. But as long as you take care to only record in kind of controlled environments and situations, you should be fine. And of course, as I'm saying that, a jet passes overhead. I don't know if you guys can hear that. But anyway, yeah, I'll leave a link in the description to the microphone that I use. Question number 3 from Pitar. "What is your all-time favorite game?" This one's easy. I've been answering this question the exact same way for years now, since I was in high school and I first played through this game, but it would have to be Metal Gear Solid 3. That's just the all-time perfect combination of everything that is great about video games and everything that is great about narratives and storytelling in video games. It's a great game. It has a lot of cinematics, which I don't mind, some people do, but the gameplay is fun, the characters are hilarious, the story is interesting and kind of crazy, and just overall it's a great game, and I'm a huge fan of the Metal Gear Solid franchise just in general, but I definitely think that that one is the best of the bunch. So yeah, if you ever get a chance to play it, I know it's kind of an old game for an old platform, the PlayStation 2, but if you ever get a chance to play it, definitely do so. It's fantastic. Question number 4 from Kyle B. LeBlond MTM. "Did you play sports as a kid? If so, which ones?" Yes, I played sports as a kid. I grew up in Southern California, which is a great place to grow up if you plan on playing sports. It's a great place to raise kids if you plan on trying to get them to play sports. And overall, you know, I'm actually glad that I grew up there, but I'm also glad that I no longer live there because I didn't like it that much. But the weather was great. In terms of, you know, being able to remain active basically throughout the year. So played a lot of sports. Mostly I played baseball, basketball, soccer/football, and finally I swam competitively for a couple years. The two sports that I focused on most of all, however, were baseball and basketball. I think I played basketball for about 6 years and baseball for 12, from the age of 4 to 16. So a rather long length of time, and I ended up, you know, finishing my baseball career in high school. I stopped playing because I incurred an injury during the off season. I actually fractured my sternum, which was incredibly painful, by the way, and I still can actually crack my chest when I want to. So it was a rather serious injury, and it definitely left me feeling like I couldn't play anymore, and I didn't really want to play anymore as a result of that injury that I incurred. So yeah, I did play sports, had a lot of fun playing sports, but I'm also kind of glad that I no longer play sports. Alright, question number 5, Furfex Ache. I hope I'm pronouncing that correctly. He asks, any ideas on what will be in the 5th expansion? I'm guessing he's asking about Battlefield 3. And, you know, my best guess, and this is obviously incredibly uneducated and pure speculation, but my best guess is that it's going to be remade maps from previous games, perhaps, and hopefully, Battlefield Bad Company 2. I think that would be a really good way to kind of finish off Battlefield 3, kind of just throw in some excellent proven maps from previous games in the series. I think that would be really cool. Okay. Next question from Eagleman Feox. There's a 3 thrown into Fox. Can I has cheeseburger? Yes, you can has. Okay. I don't really know what I should do in terms of expanding upon that answer. Markan3308. How did you get to be such good friends with the rest of the D crew? Just being in the same lobbies? No, it was much more planned than that. I started playing with Jay Kaiser, actually. He's the first... Well, the first thing that happened in relation to the D crew was D crew contacted me out of the blue. I had never spoken with him in my life. Contacted me out of the blue, and he asked me to... if I would be interested in showcasing one of my videos on his channel. And of course I said yes, led to tremendous growth for my channel, and the rest is history. But the first time I started to actually play with members of the D crew was when I started to play with Jay Kaiser. At the time, he was the only one playing Battlefield Bad Company 2 on PC. So he and I started playing along with Mass Death. I don't know how many of you know him, but we started playing together, and it kind of took off from there. And eventually, Stone and the rest of the guys, they asked me to be a member of D crew, and I accepted. So that was pretty awesome. All right, Iron Man 67. What is your favorite game from N64? That's interesting. I didn't actually own the N64, but I played it a lot because all of my friends owned an N64. And I'd have to say GoldenEye, although I really liked Diddy Kong Racing and a number of other games, but GoldenEye is the one that sticks out the most in my mind. When I was really young, like 2nd grade, 3rd grade, GoldenEye had just come out, and my friends and I would actually pretend to be playing GoldenEye out in the playground during recess. Like, that's how big of a geek I was, and how big of a gamer geek I was when I was in elementary school. I started very, very early. So yeah, I'm gonna say GoldenEye. That was a fantastic game, probably the first-person shooter that I ever got really, really into playing in a multiplayer situation. Okay, Black Warrior 147. What is the weirdest thing you will ever admit to having done in the past? That's a good question. There are many very strange things that I won't admit to having done in the past, because this is a very public forum. But one really embarrassing thing that I don't feel too bad about sharing is during one of my birthday parties, we did Truth or Dare. I was probably a preteen at the time. Did Truth or Dare, and I was like the only one who was actually going through with any of the dares. Everyone else was being boring and doing the truths. And somebody dared me. We were out in my parents' backyard, and my parents have a barbecue, and somebody dared me to lick the barbecue, so I did it, and it was pretty gross, but I did it anyway. So yeah, that's probably the strangest, weirdest, most embarrassing thing I'll admit to having done. Okay, BMW 18-Wheeler asks, did you ever get bullied or made fun of in your life? And my answer to that is definitely, and relentlessly at times, which is unfortunate, because bullying is, it's a really terrible thing, and it does lead to a lot of really depressed, sad, lonely kids. And that is something that should never happen to a kid. A kid should never feel those emotions. That comes later. No, I'm just kidding. But seriously, if you're being bullied, definitely tell somebody and try and get it resolved, because there's no reason for you to be made fun of and to feel inferior to other people. But the good news is, most bullies, you'll go on to graduate high school, maybe college, maybe something even more than that, and you'll get a great job, and they'll be serving you fries at McDonald's. So it's all good in the end. It's just a short-term thing that you'll have to go through, but they're going to have to be losers for the rest of their lives. So that's basically what it boils down to. And that's what you need to keep in mind when you're going through that crap. Eventually, they're going to be serving fries at McDonald's, and you are going to be basically giving them dirty looks from the other side of the counter. But yeah, that's it for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed, and I will talk to you all later. Have a good one. Bye.